And we welcome you to this presentation of the South Atlantic Conference on the Bears Sports Network. Another huge one today is underway between Queens and Lenoir-Rhyne here from the Moretz Sports Complex. Eric Bach and Danny Nicosia, so glad you're along with us on this Saturday afternoon. The 5-0 Queens Royals come into Hickory to take on the 4-1 Lenoir-Rhyne Bears, who lost their first league game here on Wednesday night to Catawba, but still have a very good shot in the South Atlantic Conference, but feels like today has to be a win in order for the Bears to reclaim their South Atlantic Conference Tournament Championship. These two met in the Spring 21 South Atlantic Conference Tournament Championship, and here we are again. Queens and Lenoir-Rhyne had a bit of technical difficulty that we got on the air right as kickoff happened, but here we are. Glad you're with us. Bears in their whites. Queens in their navy blue road uniforms, the gold trim. The ball sent in for for Allie Zuger that she doesn't have a chance for, but Queens is 5-0. Haven't lost a game since September 11th, so it's nearly been a full month between losses for Queens. Bears were on a winning streak before Wednesday night. Just a hard-fought, tough match here against Catawba. Bears had plenty of chances and just couldn't find the back of the net. But we're right in that game till the very end. Queens and Catawba have yet to play. They play on October 20th. That's next Wednesday. That game is in Charlotte. That's Dixon Field, the Queens Sports Complex, where Royals play their home games. Here's Rhea Acton's free kick. Doesn't have a chance. A week ago today on this field, Rhea had a hat trick against Lincoln Memorial. They're another top team here in the SAC that the Bears took down 4-0. That was a week ago here. Good header there by Nev Dustin to get it back to the Bears. This is game 2 of a Bear triple header today on the Bears Sports Network. First team up was the football team, who many of you probably just saw win a thriller against Tusculum 38-31. Scored a touchdown with less than 2 minutes to go in that game to take down the Pioneers. Now, women's soccer is second, and men's soccer between these two schools, Queens and LR, is after this one. Throw in for the Bears on the far side. Danny, we made it, girl.
Yeah, we made it. We're here. We're doing it. Whew.
It's been a lot of running back and forth between Moretz Stadium and Moretz Sports Complex for the two of us.
It has, but all for a good cause.
That's right. Biggest game of the day in the SAC happening right in front of us. Already, Bears possessing the ball more and more effectively than they did for the entire first half on Wednesday night against Catawba.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two Queens players run into each other. But the throw-in goes to the Royals. Megan Eaststep will take it. Now she's got the ball, centers it up to her teammate Karen Juarez. And Grayson's Cameron's first touch of the game happens 5 minutes in. Grayson gave the Bears just about everything she had on Wednesday night. Two that Catawba got by her were certainly not her fault. Both of them by Hannah Dunn, the Sacs leading scorer.
The Royals are putting a lot of high pressure on that back line. They play that one high offensive player that's going to cut off Kate Casey and Vivian Becker-Peralta, keep them from getting that back pass and make them play to their outside wingers.
Past couple of minutes have been more possession for Queens. Nev Dustin already had one really good ball into the offensive zone earlier. She was on point with those long balls on Wednesday night.
Absolutely. The Bears did a great job of switching the field with her. She's really been awesome these past 2 home games for the Bears. A good step there by Maddie Kyle, cut that pass off.
Maddie, one of the seniors who was a part of that classic overtime SAC championship game that we saw just 6 months ago down in Charlotte between these two.
It was a thriller for sure. Right idea there by Grayson Cameron. Get it up and out. See what Allie Zuger can do.
She swung and missed on the first one, but wins the throw-in. It's one of the freshmen, Leonie Proessel, who a couple of conference games ago had a hat trick on the road down at Coker.
Great ball in by Juarez. Just a little bit too much on it. Nia Gather just can't get on the other end.
One of the other shining star freshmen for the Bears, Vivian Becker-Peralta, who actually led the Bears in shots on Wednesday night.
Probably all off her head.
A good percentage of them were, I would guess. Looking for her to attack a little bit more. Speaking of attacking defenders, there's Rhea Acton.
And you know, in the last matchup between the Bears and the Royals, it was a lot of possession back and forth, and no one could put the ball away, obviously, because we went to overtime. But just two really strong teams that don't let each other get away with things that others might.
Head coach Amy Haywood for Queens has been around for a while.
Not too long, actually. Last year was her first.
Oh, I'm looking at her.
First year.
I looked at her overall record as opposed to her Queens record.
She came in about 3 years after I graduated, I believe.
And that was in 2016?
17.
Gary Higgins, my partner is a alum of the Queens soccer program.
I sure am. Today I am a fan of the Bears, though.
Gary Higgins on the other side. He wasn't disappointed per se. I mean, obviously you're always disappointed to lose any game.
Great split there by Allie Zuger. Sorry to cut you off, but that was really good.
There was. Zuger does commit the foul right after that on Queens, but you talk about Gary was as optimistic as a coach could be after a loss on Wednesday night. I mean, the Bears were right there with Catawba, and a couple of self-inflicted wounds actually helped out Catawba in that game.
Yeah, that was a tough one to watch. Just obviously not the outcome that you want, but a great battle between the Bears and the Indians.
Catawba is the real deal, and right now, especially if the Bears win today, they are the team to beat in the SAC, talking about Catawba.
Juarez is so good with the ball at her foot. She's fast. She's like an Allie Zuger in the middle of the field.
Offside was Queens. Juarez, native of Wilmington, NC, went to John T. Hoggard High School, which is away. Started 5 games this year, goal and an assist. Mia Manuel leads the Royals in scoring with 4 goals. She's from Cambridge, England, but went to IMG Academy, which is a powerhouse in Florida.
Yes, it is.
In just about every sport, men's and women's. It's one of those recruiting prep schools that can basically have whoever they want.
Great ball there by Figueredo, able to win it back after she loses it and find Dustin going up the middle, but fortunately Dustin can't hold on to it.
Acton and Figueredo almost smash right into each other there.
Steph seems like she's got a different vibe about her today.
She was feisty on Wednesday night.
Yeah, but this is like a feisty, energetic, like she is ready for this game. More so than usual.
She knows, she's been around.
Yeah.
If there was ever a must-win for the Bears, here it is.
Things you love to see.
Yep.
A pumped up Stephanie Figueredo.
And Gary Higgins said that they need to, that the senior class needs to step up their leadership, that in times like these, it can't be coach-led.
Right.
It has to be player-led, and that's what he said to me after the Catawba game. He said, we need the seniors to step up both leadership-wise and in their play. And he's challenged them since Wednesday to do that, so
it's very important, you know.
Seems like Coach Steph Figueredo is up to the challenge. Go ahead, Danny.
No, you're good. Coach Gary and Coach Carey.
Gary and Carey, our 2 favorites.
Oh, yeah. They can only do so much from the sideline, so they're going to prepare them as much as possible. A great ball. But the seniors are the ones who have to lead on the field and really step up and lead these Bears.
Queens hasn't played since last Saturday. They should be well rested.
Mm-hmm.
They played Carson Newman, who's actually right there in the mix in the SAC as well. Beat them 1-0 on Saturday in Charlotte.
Carson Newman's always pretty strong in the conference.
Bears have them the end of the month.
Actually, I'm pretty sure this is off the top of my head, I believe in 2019, Carson Newman went to the national championship and lost in the finals off a foul from one of their freshmen in the box, and they scored.
Yeah, Carson Newman.
That's a heartbreaker.
Yeah. And not quite that caliber this year.
Yeah.
But still very strong. And Bears played Carson Newman in the SAC tournament last year on the way to the championship against Queens.
The one thing I'll say about this Royals team, they're very spread out on the field, which isn't something we've really seen so far in our opponents. They use the entire field. They're not shoving the ball down one side of the field or the other. So I'm interested to see how that spreads the Bears out. And
Catawba was almost like a pack mentality.
Yeah.
Especially defensively. I mean, they've given up 1 goal since mid-September, and they just smother you defensively. You're right, the spacing for Queens seems good through the first 15.
And I think they're going to try and push the Bears towards the middle of the field. We like to play outside, so if they can take us out of that, they're going to find success.
Good ball from the Queen defender there.
Well done by Kate Casey. Just, pop that one out of bounds.
Kate Casey seeing more PT this past week or so.
You see Kara Gavigan over on the far side warming up.
Gavigan was the one that beat Queens.
No, it was Nev.
No, it was Nev Dustin.
Was Nev.
I was thinking of the Wingate game.
Yeah, that was Kara, as was Catawba.
Yeah, both of them were her. And
not really finding any connection here.
Things have kind of stalemated here these last 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, on both sides. One team gets possession and turns it over and vice versa.
A little bit of space for Juarez here.
She's not afraid to rip that from far
Nope,
out.
and she does, but Grayson Cameron is up to the challenge.
And she missed most of her freshman year with a knee injury as well, so she's stepped back into the Royals lineup and done very well.
Low 70s, sun still up. Not much wind to speak of. Hopefully the rain stays away. Thought we were going to get poured on as the game started, but it held off.
Yeah, and you can see blue sky probably for one of the first times fully today.
First time this week. It's been a gloomy, rainy
Yeah.
week here in Hickory.
Yeah, has not made for fun outside events.
No, Wednesday night we were very wet.
Could say that
The
again.
men played first on Wednesday night, and it just torrentially poured in that game.
And then we had a lightning delay. At least the lights didn't go off this lightning delay.
That's right.
Shout out Eddie.
Eddie catching a stray on the broadcast. For real, shout out Eddie, because I live with Eddie, and he left our house at 5 a.m. this morning to get ready for the football game and these two games that we've got coming up. Football Saturdays are the craziest days of the year for the facilities and operations folks, and for us,
Yeah.
especially when we have other games
Yep.
like we do, and when they're as important as this one is. Proessel.
Good turn there.
Yep, it was, and it will go back to the Bears and right in front of their bench.
Well done by Reeb, though, to step in, stay right on her back.
Becker Peralta, I've never seen her frown. She's always smiling.
I don't think I've seen her frown
I
either.
mean, seriously, it's a good quality to have.
It is.
Good intercept there by Queens on defense to get the ball back as the Bears were trying to push it up that far side. And a nice ball that time by Nia Gaither, junior from Harrisburg. Kate Casey cuts off the striker on the far side. Nice block by Juarez.
I'm telling you, man.
She's a real deal.
Yeah.
You can already tell.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
She is not afraid to go after the ball. She will take on any player. Real deal. Ooh.
That was Allie Zuger's foot got up near the face of Erin McCafferty there.
And E-Step will take this one.
Funny spin on that one as
Yeah.
it landed, and it ends up going right for the net, and Figueredo blocked it away.
I was going to comment on Ali Zuger's positioning on it. It was a weird angle. Like, she wasn't really standing in front of the goal, but the ball ended up going right over her head, so I guess it worked out.
And Zuger loses this one. E-Step will take another throw in right at midfield. We're 20 minutes in. Bears yet to have a shot on goal. Queens has just the one by Juarez. That was an easy stop for Cameron. But the keeper for Queens is Erica Turner, junior from Dublin, Ireland. And here comes Gavigan for Zuger. Those two are kind of interchangeable on the wing. Both probably the two fastest players on the team.
Oh, Zuger's actually going to stay in, and O'Leary is going to pop off. I like that move, though. As much as O'Leary can get the shots on goal and put the ball in the back of the net, having that speed on the wings for the Bears is going to be really important.
5 goals this year for the freshman Evan O'Leary. 2 leading scorers on this team for the Bears freshmen, so Queens hasn't even seen either of them because neither of them were here in the spring. Croessel and O'Leary. McFarland a little bit too far, I think, for Zuger, although she makes up some ground there on the far side, but can't run it down.
She was like 3 yards away from holding that one in. That's wild.
You remember the DK Metcalf play?
Yes.
Last year? That's what that reminded me of, where he ran down Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, that was wild. Maybe they should race Gavigan, Zuger, and DK Metcalf.
All due respect to Zuger and Gavigan, I think DK is still gonna prevail.
He could probably walk faster than I could run.
Me too. We would be bringing up the rear.
Yeah.
A brisk jog is about all I get to these days.
Yeah, we're going up the press box stairs gets me.
Shoo. The elevator can't come soon enough. Maddie Kyle deep in the offensive zone. We don't normally see her this far in, but
this is my favorite, though. When she goes up, she's not afraid to take that ball, let Gavigan slide in, and send one in.
It's well played by Grace Sane of Queens to head that ball out. She was in the perfect position, the center back. Queens plays, looks like, with maybe two center backs.
Mm-hmm.
Sane and I believe that is Morgan Reeb, it is.
I think they are in a 4-5-1.
Turnover there, taken by McCafferty. A little bit of space on this near side. Almost got through, but
good step by Kate Casey.
She did that so many times to Catawba on Wednesday night. Wondered why Nev didn't keep going there.
Yeah,
she turned around, looked like she had some space moving the right direction.
I think she thought the defender was in a different spot, which is why she took a touch back, but she definitely had room to run forward.
Becker Peralta steps in front of that pass, but we have our first corner of the game coming up to Queens at the just under 22-minute mark here in the first half.
Let's get it out, Why?
So Juarez will take it. Here it comes in from the far side. Looks good. Cameron leaps above the fray and grabs it and holds on to it where everyone clears out. Directing traffic, senior from right here in Hickory. Good win there by Amanda McFarland. But Acton gets cut off there by Gaither.
A little bit of an odd pass. From Mac to Rhea. I'm sure she would have liked to go forward with that more, but Gather was cutting it off a wee bit.
I'm no expert, but it seems like you should be passing the ball towards your offensive goal.
So there is a rule, play the way you're facing. So that means, she just passed the ball backwards because that's the way she was facing. The defender was on her back.
Okay.
So if you feel pressure on one side, you play the way you're facing.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, you do.
Queens playing around with it in front of their bench, and we'll have the throw-in. Got to be an advantage for Queens coming in, having not played since last Saturday, and then obviously the Bears had their toughest game of the whole season on Wednesday night.
Yes and no. I think the Bears come into the game super fired up, especially after that loss to Catawba. And there's pros and cons to having a week off. Your body gets to rest and heal, but you also don't play for a week. So I can see it going either way.
Becker Peralta steps through, but the ball doesn't get out, and now it does after Casey puts a foot on it, but it's turned right back over, and then turned over by Queens. And the ball goes to the Bears, I guess. The linesman and the referee were looking at each other like, whose ball is it? And Maddie Kyle had already thrown it in, so they just let it go.
And I'm pretty sure they missed a handball.
Probably because they were grinning at each other. Seriously.
No, you call it.
Yeah.
No, you call it.
I think the Bears caught a break there.
Yeah, definitely.
Good header in by Juarez.
And a good
now
flick.
Good chance, but slipping and falling was Gaither.
Very lucky there.
Surface still probably not completely dried out after all the rain that we've had this week.
No, definitely not.
Looks in good condition just from the eye test, but it's really hard to know until it's tested like that. Juarez takes that one, but back to the Bears it goes. Queens bench in the ear of Nev Dustin as she handled that ball right in front of all of the Royals there on the bench in the neon green pennies. Kyle pops it in. Almost a bad miscommunication there between the keeper, Turner, and Reeb, the defender. Kara Gavigan gets whistled for the foul.
Both teams struggling to keep possession consistently.
Gavigan, a native of La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Wonder if they play lacrosse there.
It's Wisconsin, so probably not.
They have good cheese, so I've heard.
Yeah, have you even been to Wisconsin?
No.
I have.
Well, because you're from Michigan.
Yeah, the cheese is good. Kara had both of the Bear goals in the SAC tournament semifinal win against Wingate that allowed the Bears to meet Queens as Scarlett Kelly checks in for LR, replacing Proessel. Coming on for Queens is Logan Farrelly.
Scarlett Kelly, exiting number 30, Leonie Proessel.
First touch for Scarlett Kelly is a good ball in to Zuger. How about Scarlett coming right off the bench, immediately making an impact?
She's looking at her teammates in the back line and just saying, come on, let's go. Let's get up here. Let's go get a goal.
She has it in the corner, surrounded by blue jerseys, and it'll still stay with the Bears very deep in that far right-hand corner.
This is great energy coming on for the Bears. She's going to bring some life to this offense, and you can see it on her.
It's exactly what Gary Higgins uses her for.
Right. Oh, and a great flick.
Burst of energy. Kelly goes down in the box, but no whistle.
I'd love to see Kate Casey contain this and then just rip one, but
she's not able to keep it on her foot, but
keep possession here.
Splits the two Queens defenders, but it's booted out of there by Sane.
Bad read by Mack, but she'll recover to help.
Maddie Leone. And a card coming to Becker Peralta. Kind of came out of nowhere. First one of the game, 30 minutes in, as Maddie Leone, the freshman from Hilliard, Ohio, was maybe had a clear path to the goal.
Obviously, you're never a fan of the card, but sometimes in those situations, fouling to stop the advancement of play isn't always, or is sometimes a good idea. Grayson Cameron sets her wall of 3.
Kyle, Dustin, and Kelly, the 3. It's a whole mess of bodies inside the 18. Here it comes off the head of Becker Peralta, and another corner coming for Queens, their second of this first half. So not the best outcome for the Royals, but certainly
not a bad one.
Not a bad one either. Juarez is just so slick.
Yeah. She's little, but she doesn't play like she's little.
She doesn't take this corner. She took the last one.
Looks like they were trying to run a short play, but they'll send this one into the 18.
Becker Peralta tips it with the top of her head. Dustin runs it down. But it gets it taken right back. Slipping and falling is Farrelly, and then commits the foul.
I thought they were going to call that on
So did
Mac.
I. Farrelly just slipped on her own, I think.
Yeah.
And then fouled from the ground.
Right.
Under 14 to go in this first half. Haven't seen really any great scoring chances either way yet.
I'm telling you, this is going to be a...
This is exactly how the final was. Just slugfest, knock them down, drag them out.
Oh, well done there by Nev. Good hesitation.
We've seen this style of defense be effective against the Bears these past few games, though, is just keep popping it out of bounds and allowing the defense to reset. Catawba did that perfectly on Wednesday night, and the Bears just weren't able to overcome it. Figueredo off of the head of Reeb. My goodness. Off the face.
I love that look from Figueredo.
And she takes it back.
This is what I'm talking about. This is the stuff everyone wants to see. She's feisty. She is ready to go. She's looking to get a goal herself.
Ellie Zuger on the far side.
Would love
Gets
a
onto
rip
the
here.
edge of the 18 and rips it.
Oh.
Gavigan can't quite head it. And it is a throw-in, actually. It did not go out on the end line, so Queens will have a throw-in way deep in their own zone.
And this is a good little run for the Bears. You know, you get that one good strike by Figueredo, although it came off the face. And then you get that look in from Zuger to Gavigan. Bears are putting themselves in a good space here if they can keep it in the final third.
Becker Peralta with a nifty little move there. Gives it off, but Queens able to intercept it and now maybe can counter. Long run for Gaither on the working back towards the middle, but Acton swipes it from her. See if Allie Zuger can run this down. She's onside. Kelly moving towards the middle, centers it up. Dustin gets in! Didn't get a strong foot on it as Turner was able to catch it just floating through the air.
And they're going to stop the clock. And
not sure what for. Somebody was hurt, actually.
Yeah, when Gaither went down on the far side, she didn't get up.
But if Nev was just able to get anything on that one, it could be 1-0 right now. She just stuck her foot out and shipped it, and the spin was enough to get a shot on goal, but nothing Turner couldn't handle. And now the teams will go to their bench as the trainer tends to Nia Gaither. We'll take a short break here on the Bears Sports Network.
Doesn't matter who you are, Everett has you covered. Proud sponsor of the LR Bears.
If you play hard, if you use your feet to chase fitness goals, if you stand all day at work, introducing True Energy Infrared Technology Socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles cells, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
And Juarez ends up with it inside the center field circle. She sends it ahead for a streaking Alyssa Edwards down the far side, who gets to it before it goes out of bounds. But Acton, she tried to center it up. Acton deflected it. And a third corner of this first half coming up for Queens with 5 minutes even to go in the first half. Juarez took the first one. She didn't take the second one, and she will take this one. So we've got our camera back now, just in time for the corner. Here it comes in. And it's too far over the top of the net. Been that kind of day, huh, Danny?
Yep.
Well, we're back in action.
We apologize for the technical difficulties.
Queens
At least we didn't miss a goal.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Got a little nervous earlier when Gavigan had that turnaround, but Queens defensively was up to the challenge. But Queens has gotten 3 corners here in the first half. They haven't done anything with any of them.
Mm-mm.
Good intercept there by Rhea Acton. Now Allie Zuger on the far side. 3.5 to go in the first half. Nifty little move into the 18, but her shot is deflected off of Morgan Reeb. Big physical play there by Durant in the back of Maddie Kyle.
Good there by... It was good by Maddie to keep possession. Not a great pass, though, especially across the middle.
Edwards, number 9, the striker on the far side for Queens, is blazing fast, too. Another turnover. This one forced by Guglielmo. Some control for Queens. There's a shot that goes off the outside of the net. Hasn't been too much going on in front of Grayson Cameron, but there's been more going on in front of her than there has been in front of Erica Turner.
Yeah, no doubt about that. The Royals have started to control a little bit more of this game, but the Bears still giving up a good fight.
Off of Juarez, the pass from Figueredo, and it stays in bounds. Figueredo had the right idea for Gavigan, but stepping in front of it was Eastep. No pun intended. Durant knocks down Gavigan, but no call. Durant, she is physical.
Mm-hmm.
She plays right on the edge, which is a good thing in my opinion. Here she comes chasing in a good ball off the foot of Kale. Gets pretty deep as Gavigan bumps her off of it. And they say no foul as Durant can't believe it. That was close.
Yeah.
It was very risky for the Bears because the referee decides otherwise. It's PK. As Dustin goes down. Man, things are physical right now.
Yeah, I was going to say he's going to let that one get a little chippy.
And now the whistle comes on McFarland as coming up grinning that time was Guglielmo.
1 minute remaining.
So we've reached 1 minute remaining here in the first half. Still looking for our first goal. Bears trying to fend off this little run here by Queens and get to this halftime still scoreless. Kale tried to fake out Grayson Cameron there, I think, and was unsuccessful. So 20 seconds to go here in the first. Last-ditch attempt for Queens is caught by Cameron, and that'll take us to the intermission. Bears controlled the early part of the half, but Queens controlled the second part of the half, and we're scoreless after one half here in this very important game between two of the top teams in the SAC. Danny, before we go to break, any initial first-half thoughts?
Yeah, I think for the Bears, they just need to keep possession and communicate just a little bit better. There were a lot of times where they would receive the ball with a defender on their back and either go to turn into that defender or not realize the defender's not there and take that touch backwards. So just having that communication with each other is going to be key moving forward into the second half. Is there a defender on? Is there not? Can we keep possession and connect on those passes and go put one in the back of the net?
See if they can. We got 15 minutes to go before the second half starts. We'll be back then on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing.
This once-in-a-generation project will give student-athletes an advantage and position Lenoir-Rhyne as a leader in academics and athletics.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Emergencies don't wait. Get to the hospital. Accidents happen. Get well soon. When it hurts to move forward, tackle your pain. Don't make your health wait. See your doctor. Your health means everything.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Doesn't matter who you are, Everett has you covered. Proud sponsor of the LR Bears.
If you play hard If you use your feet to chase fitness goals. If you stand all day at work. Introducing True Energy Infrared Technology Socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Second half about to roll here from Moret Sports Complex. Eric Bach and Danny Nicosia here in a scoreless ball game. Do you call it a ball game? I don't even know.
Well, no. That's baseball and softball.
That's true.
It's a match.
Scoreless match between Queens.
0-0.
0-0. I can't. I'm sorry, I'm just not saying that. 0-0.
How unsoccer of you.
I know. Big one, though. These last 45 minutes will have a lot to say about the SAC regular season this year when it comes down to it. We're at the midpoint for the Bears of SAC conference play.
Yeah.
Queens had the better chances in the last 15 or so of that first half, so the Bears will try to regroup and push their way towards the offensive zone and goal.
You know, what's interesting, though, Eric, is kind of how our conference is divided up right now. We have two of the top teams right here, and then there's Limestone, Lincoln Memorial, and then you have the bottom half of the conference, and Wingate has kind of fallen in there.
Yeah, they're weirdly down this year.
I was talking to Queens' assistant coach, Mark Catterall, before the game, and he's like, you know what I could see happening is them earning a 6th seed in conference tournament and coming in and just taking
somebody out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can. That makes a lot of sense to me because lost a couple, and they lost a really close one to Catawba.
Yeah.
Wingate's the only one to score on Catawba since September.
Jeez.
Immediate offensive pressure from the Bears and Allie Zuger.
September was only 9 days ago.
I know, but like mid-September.
Oh, okay. Makes more sense.
Thanks. I think the date was like September 11th or 12th.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, it's been almost a month.
Yeah, thank
you.
you.
To the day. You're welcome.
Thank you for validating my point.
I'm always here to validate your thoughts and feelings.
Yes. What a healthy relationship we have. Karen Gavigan
Left
loses
foot.
it, but Nev Dustin doesn't. Puts the first shot on goal of the game for the Bears. Second. Nev actually had one earlier. That was just kind of a oopsie shot, but that one was definitely not an oopsie shot.
No.
And a nice stop there from Erica Turner. Kate Casey will try to run this one down.
Okay, Kate Casey with the wheels.
Saw Gaither go down in the first half, and she's back, so good to see that for Queens.
Special teams Figueredo will pop that one out of the box.
Becker Peralta hit it off her own teammate, Maddie Kyle, there. And now a chance for Queens. This one's outside the box, and Gaither breathing down Grayson Cameron's neck. She makes the nice catch and save. Zuger now, she worked the far left side in the first half, and here she is on the near left side in the second. Good header from Casey. Back to Queens. I'm sorry, back to the Bears. Figueredo with her headband in her right hand, still playing the game. She lost it on the header about 45 seconds ago and just has been carrying it scrunched up in her hand. And wow, Queens can't believe that wasn't a whistle.
Neither could Scarlett Kelly.
Yeah, she was the one that did it. I think it was kind of inadvertent.
Yeah.
I think the Queens player stopped, and Kelly just kind of ran into her, but still, you've seen whistles for less.
Yeah.
As the ball gets away from the ball retriever down there. Acton will reset it. Casey just clears it all the way down.
Got a nice little crowd here tonight.
Beautiful night. It's turned into. We were nervous. I mean, we got the Big Ten up. above our heads. We thought that we had a very good chance of being wet. I guess we shouldn't speak too soon.
Yes, please don't jinx us.
Yeah, sorry. Let me just retract that.
If it rains, it's your fault.
Everyone says that I'm like the biggest jinx.
Well, do you say things that jinx things?
There's no such thing as a jinx. Things are going to happen no matter what I say. Mike Jacobs accused me of the same thing the other day.
Well, if the head football coach accuses you of something, you probably shouldn't do it.
Well, I mentioned how they had been not turning the ball over, and then they turned the ball over a few times.
As they did today as well.
Right. Ever since I said that, they've turned it over like 7 times.
It was a big hit there by Kelly.
No whistle. She can't believe it, but here comes Queens. This one's centered up, and Becker Peralta wins it away from McCafferty for the moment, but it ends up back on the foot of Juarez.
The ball's like a magnet to that girl's foot.
She is. And she's not overly quick.
No.
But she's, efficiency over speed, but she commits a foul there.
Big tackle from behind.
Gavigan slow to get up.
Yep, but Mac will take that one quick.
Now they pop it into Allie Zuger. Little bit of space.
You can see Kelly calling it for it on her head. I would have kept going.
There's just that composure and finishing ability in the final third that the Bears have struggled with all season long. Gary Higgins has said over and over that that's the area of the team that they have to improve the most. Here's Zuger again, this time with a little bit more space. She gets all the way deep, right in front, but no white jersey was right where they needed to be, and it's cleared out of there by Queens, but easily the best chance of the night so far for the Bears created by Allie Zuger.
And that was great vision there by Becker Peralta to take that ball, keep it at her foot, make the defenders commit, and then dump it off to Allie Zuger.
Rhea Acton keeps her balance after taking a hit there from Gaither.
Gavigan wide open on that far side. If she can sneak in behind E-step, it could be a dangerous opportunity. Let's see what Zuger does.
Nice little move. Gets it clear, but Kelly can't put a foot on it. Juarez clears it out. Now maybe a counterattack here for Queens.
A little 3v5 action here. They're going to slow it down and wait for some of their attackers to come upfield, or not.
Nice center there from Maddie Leone, but nobody home. Just over 6 minutes into second half. Seen action kind of picking up here, especially offensively for the Bears. They seem to have woken up a little bit at halftime as Kate Casey deflects that one. Can't say enough good things about her performance the last game plus.
She's really stepped up and stepped into that lineup. Make that 4 freshman starters for the Bears.
Corner coming for Queens. Bears have yet to have a corner in this game. This is number 4 for the Royals. You said it. Kate Casey, by the way, a freshman from Biscoe, North Carolina. Juarez will take this corner for the Royals. She's been around, played a lot of soccer in this conference. Here it comes, but Cameron grabs it.
Nice clean
That
catch
was headed
there.
for the back of the net, I think.
It was.
If Cameron
close,
doesn't grab that. I mean, that looked like it had the right angle.
Gavigan
Nice
lucky.
move there from Gavigan.
Yeah. A little lucky to keep it as long as she did with the heavy touch.
Another heavy touch from Queens that McFarland intercepts, but her touch wasn't great either. Now here come the Royals down the near side with some space. Keely Jackson with it. Now she gets it back. 3 white jerseys around her. Sends it in the middle, but missed the head of Leone.
Nice little 1-2 there between Gavigan and Kyle. Bears holding on to it just a little too long as they advance into that final third. I'd like them to find those passes either out wide or even just laying it off to someone else in the middle just a bit faster. I think that'll help them keep possession and maybe find an opportunity.
By the way, Erica Turner, the Queens keeper, is the reigning SAC Defensive Player of the Week. It's a long shot in, and Cameron makes a good save, but Karen Juarez, that's the second or third time she's pulled one from well outside the 18, and all of them have been right on net.
25, 30 yards out.
Yeah.
With accuracy, too.
I wondered, Tusculum might want to recruit her to be their field goal kicker. After the Pioneer kicker kicked one field goal into the back of his offensive line today. Here's some space for Allie Zuger. They could use her.
Yeah.
Zuger
take a COVID year.
To nobody. Yeah. Gavigan keeps it in. Wow, that was a good play by her on the end line.
Ooh, that one snuck through.
It did, but Zuger was too far.
Yeah. I don't think she was expecting it to sneak through.
I don't think anybody was. Kelly was kind of the same way.
Yeah.
She was closer to the middle, but didn't look like she was ready for the ball. Figueredo's got her headband back on her head now, as opposed to in her hand.
No, it's not a wristband.
It's not a stress ball. It's the way she was using it earlier.
She was holding it pretty tight.
Squeezed the life out of the poor thing.
It's better than taking frustration out on the opponent.
Well, you can channel some frustration as Casey splits her two teammates and mishits that one. Haven't heard much from Rhea Acton today offensively. Hat trick a week ago here against Lincoln Memorial. But right back to the Bears, and here comes Evan O'Leary back in the game for Gavigan. Evan, the freshman from Walnut Cove, NC. According to Gary Higgins, the queen of being in the right place at the right time. Bears could use some of that as Gaither couldn't find it. And now back to the Bears on a throw-in. I think the referee wanted to call a foul, but just decided to just give it to the Bears on a throw-in. And now they do get a foul as Kelly goes down. Kelly must be OxyClean's best customer. She's always
on the ground.
Always getting the grass
her uniform's stains. Not green and brown.
Grass stains out of her white uniform.
OxyClean, if you're listening, NIL is a thing.
Yeah, hit Scarlett Kelly up and then maybe me. This one's in.
Are your clothes
Becker
dirty?
Peralta. Well, I just wanted a little bit of the cut because I was the one that said it. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just like 10% is all. Scarlett can have the rest. She's the one that does all the work. First corner of the game for the Bears. Rhea Acton will take it. Just under 33 to go. Feels like a goal's coming for LR. The way that they have been working in this offensive zone. See if it can come here. Here it comes from Acton. Too far for everyone, and off the back of Becker Peralta, who then gets whistled for a foul.
It looks like Becker Peralta got a little tangled up in the Royals defenders, and I think if she hadn't, she would have gotten a clean head on that.
Wasn't a perfect ball from Acton, a little bit long. Back to the Bears. Now Queens is having the possession troubles that the Bears had in the first half. Ooh. O'Leary swings up in the air and gives it back to Queens. Alyssa Edwards, the speedster striker, checks back in for the Royals. Navy blue and Vegas gold. That's what it's called.
Indeed.
The Vegas gold is easy to see. There's a deflection off of Maddie Leone. Becker Peralta could have caused some real problems there if that would have bounced a different way. But right into the arms of Grayson Cameron.
I do really like the Queens jerseys.
Oh, yeah. They're simple.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about them. Whenever people who design jerseys try to make it too complicated, that's when you run into trouble.
I agree.
Simple is the best way to go when it comes to jerseys. What a move there by Juarez to get through a couple of defenders, and that one's off of Kate Casey, but she gets it to safety.
That's 2 deflections off of the Royals attackers that could have resulted in a goal in about 90 seconds.
Ellie Zuger surrounded by blue jerseys.
The Royals have done a good job of putting pressure on the Bears and forcing them to go backwards.
Yeah, backwards has been the only way sometimes for the Bears. But they have been better on possession in this second half.
Absolutely.
They've had better chances in this second half. So certainly a noticeable improvement from the first to second half, at least in my humble opinion.
I agree.
See Jack Winter, men's soccer coach, making his way towards the bench to support the women and his good friend Gary Higgins. Jack's Bears in desperate need of a bounce-back win after their game Wednesday night here against Catawba.
That was rough.
They were up 2-0 at halftime and gave up 3 straight goals in the second half to fall 3-2. But Winter, Cascone, and company will be ready to play, I'm sure. They'll be up in 30 minutes of game time if we find a goal. But this one, a long way from over. The ball's been in this half of the field for a while, and now maybe a little bit of a counterattack here for the Bears.
Great
Nice
move
by Dustin. She kept it close.
Would love to see an early ball. No.
I knew what you were getting at there, but a corner coming up for the Bears after Zuger deflects it off the pole vault pit.
I know that's the Bears' style of play is take the ball to the touchline and cross it back across the box. But, man, if they would just give the early ball maybe once, I bet they could find some success. I see it. I just envision it every single time.
See if Rhea Acton can envision a goal here. Here it comes. Kelly deflects. Oh my! She puts now another corner. Kelly puts her hands on her cheek, saying, "I can't believe that I missed that." But that was exactly what the Bears wanted there. Seemed like Queens just kind of let them have it, too.
Yeah. There wasn't really anyone around her or Figueredo.
Here it comes again. Kelly does get it, but it's off the defender. Well played that time by Queens. O'Leary wins the ball back.
See, play the way you're facing.
If you're just joining us, that was a lesson that Danny gave me in the first half. A little bit of space here for Gaither, and a corner coming up for Queens. Fifth one of the game for the Royals. Bears have had fewer corners, but much better chances off of their corners. Queens only has 2 people inside the 18 right now. Lots of white jerseys making a wall in front of Grayson Cameron. See what the Royals try to do here. Juarez missed it. Edwards had a good look at it, but couldn't do anything with it. And now here's a shot that gets deflected They thought it was a handball, but the referee says no, but another corner coming up for the Royals. That was a high deflection, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Couple of subs, actually 3 subs coming on for Queens. Juarez will step off along with Gaither. I would imagine this is just a little break for those two to keep them fresh for the final 10 to 15 of this game. Here it comes. This one a low one. Skips off the foot of Becker Peralta. Will be a Royals throw-in.
Oh, well done there by Rhea Acton.
She's boxed out Edwards. But it stays with the Royals.
Oh.
Another deflection by Casey. And
handball.
Back to the Bears.
Eric, quiz.
Sure.
Is there offsides on a throw-in?
No.
Correct.
Did
you just figure like the answer was no because I was
No,
asking?
I feel like I've heard that before. I'm much more well-versed in American football. That was a dangerous pass there. Becker Peralta put a little heat on that one to Grayson Cameron.
Yeah.
That's another rule that I learned this year. She can't pick that up when her teammate passes it to her. What a step through there by Maddie Kyle. And then another good pass by Zuger to Dustin. She gets immediately surrounded by blue jerseys, but gives it back to Figueredo. Steph, senior from Wilmington, Massachusetts, is too long with her pass and a goal kick for Queens. Header from Dustin went off the back of the Queens player and ended up on the foot of Queens. Zuger on the far side gets it swiped there by Guglielmo. Grace is senior from West Babylon, New York. Not the first time Queens has had a New Yorker on their team.
Those New Yorkers.
I'm sitting next to one. And the call is what?
I think it's a throw, and Figueredo's going to go ahead and take one of those long throw-ins that we love.
Linesman put his flag up but never pointed. She is the specialist. She'll get this thing right towards the edge of the box. Leaves it short for Zuger.
Zuger will pop it back out. Oh.
Great deflection there by Queens, but it's the right idea for Figueredo. You can just feel the frustration building offensively for second half has been in control in my opinion.
Great turn by Kelly.
Gives it back to Dustin, who takes a big swing at it and sets up a corner.
Almost took out Max.
Our friend, the ultra-talented Max Gamble. If you see any dope photo on any Bears social media.
Or graphic.
Photo or graphic. It came from the camera lens or the computer screen of that man. Here comes Acton's corner, and there it is! Scarlett Kelly! They finally break through, and the Bears strike first.
That is exactly what they needed, Eric. And coming off the head of Scarlett Kelly is even better.
Scarlett gets her 4th goal of this 2021 season. An assist from Acton.
And you can see on our Spangler restoration replay, came right in, right off the head of Scarlett Kelly.
She came so close on a couple different corners a few minutes ago, and the Bears finally cash one in. Just over 21 to go. Firmly in the driver's seat now.
And that's the spark that this Bears team needed.
Gary Higgins has to be through the roof.
This referee is letting him play.
He is. To his credit, he's been pretty consistent.
Absolutely. He's not over-calling or even under-calling.
Saw that become a bit of a problem on Wednesday night, that anytime somebody breathed on somebody in the LR Catawba game, it was whistled.
Yeah.
Now see if the floodgates can open. Good center from Zuger. Dustin, man, she had it on her foot, just stepped on the top of the ball and couldn't control it. Scarlett Kelly, the opening goal. And an answer trying to be from Queens off the foot of Durant, but a good stop by Grayson Cameron going down to her knees.
Yeah, well done there by Grayson Cameron. Kind of bobbled it when she first hit the ground, but was able to keep it close to her body.
If you haven't seen the video of Grayson Cameron that my partner made about her being mic'd up and going through practice, it's worth a watch. I know I learned not only about Grayson, but about like how goalkeepers practice by watching the video. Acton wins that one from Edwards, who got a little lazy. She pokes it ahead to O'Leary, who immediately centers it. It goes off the Queens defender, but back to Acton. Had a chance to shoot and didn't take it. Probably a touch too many.
Yeah.
20 minutes even. Bears trying to double up this lead. A header goal for Scarlett Kelly off a corner from Maria Acton. The difference. If the Bears win this game, they have to become Queens fans when they play Catawba.
Yeah.
Because if the Indians win out, assuming the Bears hold on to this one and the Indians win out, then they will be the outright SAC champions. But still many tough games for the Bears coming up. They still have Carson Newman. They have Wingate. So
Anderson's always a toughie.
Here's a shot that goes wide off the foot of Queens. Haven't seen Mia Manuel today for Queens. She scored the game winner, the only goal in the game against Carson Newman a week ago. So, don't know what the explanation is there. Maybe an injury. Who knows what.
Yeah.
No point in really speculating. I heard the Bears, there's Scarlett Kelly gets whistled, and this will probably be a card on her, is it?
I hope not, because she already has one yellow. Doesn't she?
Right, she does.
No, I think it's a high kick.
Yeah. It's Keely Jackson, who was the party that found Kelly's cleat in her face, and the referee brings them together. It was completely unintentional by Scarlett Kelly.
Absolutely.
And Jackson knows that, I think. She's smiling now.
Still just,
I probably
dangerous.
wouldn't be smiling if I got kicked in the face, so good for her.
I probably would have cried.
Good for her to be good-natured about it. And Kelly throws it off of Morgan Reeb, and she's just
she is fired
up.
up.
Who she is.
Yep.
Right? She is
and she's
yelling
gonna
and
head off
screaming.
the field.
She got her goal. I think Gary Higgins is like, well, don't want her to go too far, especially because she already has a yellow. You know, you can't.
Absolutely.
And as aggressive as she is, she could unintentionally pick up a second, and certainly don't want her to miss a game. Allie Zuger missed a game. She got a red card a couple games ago. Missed the
straight red, too.
Yeah, missed the Lincoln Memorial game because of that. This is the final game of a 3-game homestand for the Bears. They head to Mars Hill on Wednesday.
And then they have that odd Sunday matchup with Tusculum.
With Tusculum, yeah, that's a week from tomorrow at Tusculum. Both the Bear women and men head up to Greenville, Tennessee, I should say. So used to saying down from my old home. And then they step out of conference play. They head to Bluefield State, which is a Mountain East team in Bluefield, West Virginia. And they're not back home until 3 weeks from today. That's against Wingate.
You know, we have no home games next week.
Or the following week. We have a home football, not this upcoming Saturday, but 2 weeks from today. That's homecoming Saturday against Limestone.
Okay.
This one's been in. It's right in front of the goal, and it just misses. About 3 Bears had a chance at it. Proessel and Zuger were both right there to bury that one and maybe bury Queens, and they couldn't do it.
Right off, that was a great ball in from Steph Figueredo. Great pace on the ball, great curve. Honestly, could have gone in without a touch on it as well. I'm all in for a Steph Figueredo goal.
Would be her first on the season. O'Leary has a chance, and it gets deflected.
Was that it? That wasn't her hand.
Off of Gaither. No, I think it was her chest area. But 2 weeks from today, the Bears go to Newberry, and then they have that full week off, and then are back home on October 30th against Wingate.
So we really don't have anything until football 2 weeks.
Yeah, and the last two, that's the last 2 regular season games are Wingate and Carson Newman, both here. Carson Newman on Wednesday, November 3rd.
I know volleyball's on the road as well.
Yeah, it's road-heavy final 3 weeks of October for the Bears and almost across the board. Another corner that goes up and above and a goal kick for Queens. But Queens has a tough stretch coming up, too. You know, this is like the murderer's row stretch for the Bears. They had Lincoln Memorial, check. Catawba, loss. Queens, they lead in the last 15 minutes. So if the Bears can go 2-1 in this 3-game homestand, that would go a long way for their SAC championship hopes. But here's a good turnaround from Lauren Kale. Gives it back to Gaither, who's back in along with Juarez. Didn't think they'd be out for too long, and they're both back in.
Mm-hmm. She's got to rest the legs up.
McFarland chips it away, but Queens coming up they step out of conference play. They play Shaw University. They got a 4-game homestand, but it goes Lincoln Memorial, Catawba, Limestone.
Ooh.
Back to back to back.
It's the top of that conference.
And so Lincoln Memorial and Catawba right there with these two in
As
the
is Limestone,
top 4.
aren't they?
Limestone is
top
in the middle. They're top 6.
Yeah.
So, but just like the Bears, the Royals have an important stretch of games against the top of the league. There's a foul on Morgan Big, and this is going to be a yellow card on Reeb. First one of the game for Queens. That was a hard hit.
Yeah.
Nice little shoulder
After
check.
After she passed as well, so.
There's something so confrontational about the referees giving cards. Like
they go
they
right
walk
up
right
to,
up to you and just
he was
raise,
almost like chasing her down the field,
Gosh,
and she's like, "No, I don't want it."
It's so confrontational.
Then they write it in their notebook.
Yep. Number 16, yellow.
I'm sure that's how he's saying it.
Yep,
in his head
too. Yeah.
Yellow.
Yellow. Kelly got one earlier, so the first one for Queens is Dustin. It's a good one in.
Right into the hands of Erica Turner.
Great catch by her. And she sidearms it ahead to her teammate.
Oh, great.
Proessel plays that one from the ground as she had a great tackle as
she's not going to
Becker
get a call
Peralta
there
gets
either.
that one in, and Turner almost went outside of the 18 to grab that one.
Paressel's lucky that she didn't get a call for playing on the ground.
I was going to say, I was thinking in my mind that was against the rules.
Indeed.
If there was ever a player playing the ball from the ground, that was Proessel right there.
Yeah.
Acton can't take it from Kale, who hits it off the side of her foot.
Royals
Casey
just looking for a chance to score here.
Bears have very much controlled the vast majority of the second half.
Yeah.
After Queens had the upper hand in the last 15 to 20 of the first half. Proessel plays that one off her shoulder, but can't corral it. Another sub for Queens as Durant steps off. Coming on, I believe, is it's Maddie Leone. And a goal kick coming for Grayson Cameron. As the Bear men smartly just let it be as the clock ticks off. I love how none of them even moved a muscle down there, knowing that it's going to take more time for Grayson Cameron to run it down. It's exactly what Catawba did to the Bears the other night. Figueredo with a great ball off her head. Manages to keep the headband on. McFarland can't. Oh, is this going to be a card coming? As Juarez
I think just
goes
a talking
down.
to. But Mac knew right away.
She
She
knew.
put her hands up like she did. That was not a malicious tackle
She knew
at all.
what she was trying to do, and she just wasn't successful.
And honestly, sometimes you go in thinking it's going to be a good tackle, and then like midway down, you're like, oh no,
Here we
I shouldn't
go.
have done this. I did that a lot.
I think you do that just a lot in life. Oh, no, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, that's fair. It's always an afterthought.
Act first, think second. Queens has got to find some offense soon if they want to tie this game up and potentially send it to overtime.
Don't say those words. We don't say those words. Take it back.
I mean, it's out there now.
So you just jinxed us. This goes back to our previous conversation, Eric.
There is no such thing as a jinx.
Okay, well, if it happens...
If it happens, it was meant to happen no matter what I said.
Debatable.
That was a good ball in
It was
from
a great
Gaither.
ball.
It looked like it wasn't going to be off her foot, but ended up kind of fluttering to her teammate. 10-10 to go. Goal about 12 minutes ago from Scarlett Kelly. A header off a corner. The one crooked number on the scoreboard. I think that's a baseball term, too.
Yeah, I was going to say it doesn't look crooked, and it makes
Well,
sense for
it's
baseball
a
because
crooked
they
number-
used to manually put them up.
No,
Oh,
I'm talking about crooked numbers are anything but zero.
interesting. I've never heard that phrase. I think you made it up.
No. It's been around a long, long time. Casey heads it, but can't get it out. Chance here for Queens. Juarez
Great
spins
footwork
around.
by Juarez.
She is... Oh, she goes down, but Becker Peralta goes down with her.
The referee is not going to give up any calls here.
You're going to have to football tackle somebody right in front of the goal, and Acton clears it out. Whew.
Zuger's going to keep that in on the far side, and she's off to the races.
Potentially a counter here for the Bears as Dustin gets
Ooh.
tripped up,
Yeah.
and there's a foul.
Great turn by Dustin as well. Even if she hadn't gotten clipped, she would have been gone.
Under 9. The only circumstance where an announcer jinx happens is when a announcer talks about how good a field goal kicker is. If an announcer says that, then the kicker's definitely going to miss the field goal. It's the only time I believe in jinxes.
But I thought jinx wasn't real.
It's not, other than that situation.
Has that happened to you?
Yes. Multiple times. Here comes the throw-in machine. Steph Figueredo whips it in there. It goes right to the goal, but Proessel turned away by Turner. Wow, that took a perfect Bear bounce. Might have gone wide of the net, but Turner didn't take any chances. That was smart by her.
Yeah, could have snuck in near post.
Yep. But another corner for Rhea Acton. That's how the Bears scored their only goal in this game, is in this situation from the other side last time. And the silent assassin lines it up, pops it in. It's loose, but Queens gets it out of trouble for the moment, and now here we go. McFarland intercepted by Gaither, and here they come. There's a good slide tackle from McFarland. That's what she wanted to do last time and was successful this time. Perfect job by Acton to keep it in.
And a beautiful touch by Proessel.
A couple of people tangled up there, and the whistle goes in the Bears' favor.
The momentum has really shifted throughout this second half into the Bears' favor.
It's ebbed and flowed, and it's right now solely in the Bears' possession. Have Dustin from about 30 yards. Too far for her teammates, but Figueredo has a chance. Just couldn't quite get on top of it. The touch was a little bit too much.
Yep. Got underneath her touch, wasn't able to make solid contact with the back of the ball, but another dangerous opportunity for the Bears there.
Under 6.5 to go.
Call push in the back,
O'Leary gets whistled for a bit of a tic-tacky one there, but almost works out in the Bears' favor because Queens has to move all the way back. Energy high on the Bear bench. They can feel it. What a bounce back this would be.
Right idea there by Mack. Can you get it to the corner to Zuger and kill some time?
Logan Farrelly, who just came in a couple minutes ago with a nice touch, centered up, but Becker Peralta, a stone wall there in the middle of the 18. Back to Queens it goes on the far side. Becker Peralta plays on. I am really a fan of how this referee has called the game.
Yeah.
Hasn't let things get out of control, but has let people be physical.
Wow.
Oh, they gave that one to Queens.
Yeah,
that was clearly off of Queens. As soon,
we get it back.
As soon as I compliment the referees.
Jinx.
Not a jinx. It's just bad timing. Allie Zuger.
Megs.
With her neon pink shoes. Gets around Queens. Look at her go. And is that in the box?
I think it's right outside.
That was a one-woman show.
And you can see the Queens coaches are not happy with that call.
The assistant coach, more than anything. That's Mark Catterall. And now Amy Haywood giving that linesman all he wants to hear.
Oh,
I'm not sure what they're upset about. It must have been the play before the foul because the foul was obvious.
Right.
I think they thought that Zuger might have fouled first. Acton pops it in. Headed out of there by Eastep. It was. She's been solid defensively. Under 4 we go. And to Queens, they say. I think the referee pointed for the Bears and the linesman.
Oh, it's going to be a
it's a foul.
Free kick, yeah.
It's a foul on the Bears.
I wonder if Acton just kind of grabbed her jersey on that run. Ooh.
Queens coaching staff still just screaming at that linesman. They are really upset about something that happened on that far side. I must have missed it because whatever they're mad about, I didn't see.
Mm-mm. But again,
we are very far away.
Yeah.
This one in the box. Becker Peralta's got to be careful here. She spins it away for the moment.
Smart by Vivian not to just let that one trickle out and give the Royals a corner, but pop it out of bounds for a throw-in.
And
I think they called her offside.
She was. Wow. Seemed impossible with all those white jerseys back there. 2.5 to go. Bears trying to hold on. Grayson Cameron boots it away. Won by Queens.
Surprised that wasn't an over the back.
Good chance here for Queens, but Rhea Acton turns it away. Gaither is looking for a center. Acton saw it coming. Now another.
Oh, here comes Eric. What are your hands like?
Oh, look out. And a foul on Gaither. Acton went down. Wasn't much, but it was enough space created there. So we have 90 seconds to go. And here comes Grayson Cameron. Figueredo goes down after she got tangled up with Juarez, but right now the Bears just have to be in defensive mode.
Yeah, the goal of the Bears' defensive line right now is get it up, get it out.
Figueredo takes it back. So we have 1 minute to go. Zuger, possession at this point.
Yeah, she's going to bring this down to the corner if she can.
She keeps it in, but it goes back to Queens. One last run for Queens. Acton takes a chance. Doesn't pay off. Gaither with a great defensive play as the clock stops with 19.5 to go. We have a Queens injury and a yellow card on Gaither as she had some words for the referee. There's a Queens player down and back in front of the Queens bench about 70 yards away from the ball. 19.5 to go. Can't tell which Queens player that is.
I'm not sure.
Looking at her right ankle area. Now she's up. I think I can't see the number, so I'm not even going to guess. It looks
Your
like,
eyesight's better than
It looks
mine.
like Maddie Leone. It looks like 18, but I'm not 100% sure. Here comes a throw-in. Clock runs. 19 seconds. Acton tries to blast it away. Into the box.
10, 9,
Maddie Kyle boots it away. And that will do it. What a bounce back for the Bears. They fought, they clawed, and they pick up a gutsy 1-0 win over Queens. A game they had to have to keep their SAC championship hopes alive, and Danny, the Bears got the job done today.
Yeah, this was a great game between the Royals and the Bears. A great win for the Bears. They needed this really bad after that Catawba loss. Just like you said, keeping them in the hunt for the SAC championship. A lot of respect between these two teams and these two coaches. Great battle all around on both sides. Couldn't have asked for a better game.
Scarlett Kelly, the winner at the 21-minute mark of the second half. Off the foot of Rhea Acton, and the Bears' defense comes up big. Another clean sheet for Grayson Cameron. Her fourth of this season. Bears come over to thank the fans for the support. Gave them a good show tonight. 1-0 the final. The Bears right back in the mix at the very top of the SAC. They move to 5-1. Queens falls to 5-1 in the league. Catawba still alone in first place at 5-0. But lots of soccer to play, and this win certainly put the Bears right where they think they belong. So for Danny Nicosia, the rest of our crew, Eric Bach saying we'll see you in a bit. Men's game coming up in about 33 minutes here from Moretz, and we'll talk to you then.